I just said that, and I get the feeling this is ending very soon. Plus, I've kind of looked it up just to see average play times, and they're pretty short, so this should be around the ending. But I know that taking care of Winter is my responsibility, but, well, I can't. It's past 12 o'clock, and I still haven't gotten brazen enough to wake her. I've managed to drop the ball with the simplest task, make sure she eats breakfast. She just came back so depressed yesterday. I have no idea how to strike up a conversation with her now. I want to cheer her up, obviously, but I just... Okay, first of all, I don't even know her that well. We've only been living together for a few weeks. Sure, we've been friendly, but, I wouldn't say we're friends yet. Still, as her roommate, I feel like I should at least try to make her feel better. Man, maybe that would just make me seem like an asshole. Like, oh, don't sweat the small stuff, Winter. It's just one world lost, and there's plenty of those. It's a fantastic situation we have here, in room whatever number it is. I'm totally not equipped to understand how she's feeling. I'm not qualified to pester her. I'm not even able to get what happened to her. How does all of a world's air just burn away? With a demon summoning? And a crazy undone seal? Curses and abominations from distant space? Heh, that'd be worth seeing. Someone at the door? Maybe this will force me into action. I walk over, prepared to answer. It's the Northerner, pretty as usual, and handsome all the same. Crossing his arms and putting on a serious face, he addresses me. Waverly, yo! I mirror his pose. Ayo, yo! Heard abuse on the mend. Came to give her a hug. That's great, but I'm not letting you in. He stutters in puffy disbelief, as if what I just said was the most preposterous thing. Why not? I think you might want to hug more than her. Ridiculous! He draws out a slow, fake punch. I must make it past you. Therefore, I challenge you to a duel, Waverly, and the reward will be a 10-second hug for Bew. I bring up my own arm in the same mock attack. Oh, getting from her or giving it to her? Oh, I'd give it to her. But I'd need longer than 10 seconds. Extending a finger from my fist, I point at him. No. Stop it right there. His lips tremble for a few seconds, but he prevents a smile. Winner hugs Bew. Agreed? Fine, but you will lose this game. He rolls up his sleeve and offers me his hand. Thumb war? Let us dance the dance of combat. Linking hands, we both raise our thumbs and stare intently at the battle zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a dumb war. Thumb war. I remember these, so yeah. We pass our thumbs over one another as we speak the rhyme, and when we finish, we clash. We struggle for a few seconds before Io speaks. This is so dumb. I think it was a good way of getting the point across. A weird, otherworldly kids game where two opposing forces battle to the death. A great metaphor for the philosophy of some systems. Sure, but something's wrong here. If I had this much fun fighting in a war, I'd be worried about myself. Well, I wouldn't say the stakes are quite as high here. Do you think they'll give us more rhymes for other concepts? If you see a loaded gun, you had better fucking run. People hate, it's what they call discriminate. He laughs and our thumb game continues. Playfully, neither of us tries very hard. So, you heard about Winter? Yeah, me and the other idiots who accepted the title of promising were called to the emergency meeting last night. It was like at 2 in the morning. He looks up at me. Cyrus showed up. I also look up. Really? So what happened? You don't know? I look back at our thumbs. I only sort of know. Cyrus killed the country's leader, and that leader ordered something called a nuke to be launched at another country after his death. The thing could basically wipe out a city. I whistle. And nuke, you see, is short for nuclear weapon. He says this quite haughtily. Oh my, the education you folks receive dazzles me. Please do try to keep your language simple, so that I may understand. I can feel him smile at this, and he replies jokingly. Sorry, I'll try. So how this thing that could wipe out a city wipe out a whole planet's population? Well, you see, there's actually only one special type strong enough to do that. I'll admit, I didn't know about it. The true fusion bomb. A bomb that makes stars when it blows up, I think. I don't know. I'm kind of talking out my ass. Basically, star on planet equals bad. It killed everyone. Huh. What did Cyrus have to say about all this? Nothing. He just stood there while the other mediators explained the situation and told us we should be paragons for our peers. Like we're supposed to be mature about it and not joke about it. Which is pretty damn presumptuous if you ask me. No one's going to be a dick about it. I guess some kids aren't going to understand how serious this is, though. A world just committing suicide with a weapon we've never even heard of is almost comically insane. If you told me about it before teachers did, I'd call bullshit. Anyway, let's finish this. I'm getting tired of holding you. Really? I can't hold your hand anymore? Maneuvering my thumb with what I'd call some real impressive dexterity, I pin him down for the count. No! After a few seconds, we disengage. Ah, damn it. He scowls and lightly massages his thumb. Well, it's your win. But I've won the warmth of your hand in the palm of my own. Oh, fairest Waverly, I will cherish it forever. Shut up. Has Bu been asleep this whole time? How long's she been out? Out like a light for something like 14 hours. He whistles long. Well, I suppose not all humans are as durable as me. Yes, we're not all northern strong. He beams and points at me with both hands. Yes, you said it. Closing his eyes, he puffs out his chest and puts his hand on his hips. We're born and bred badasses, made tough by tundra and snowdrift. Don't you forget it. Never, comrade. But yeah, I can't let you in to hug her. Not with those powerful arms. Standing at ease, he answers me smoothly. I'd be soft about it, ma'am. I'd make sure she'd get more out of it than me. Hey, watch yourself. He smiles. Touchy lass. Hey, it's fine if I can't. I love you dearly, and I'd love to comfort her, but I understand if the little tyke needs some rest after all that went down. Yeah, she probably does. Cackled Waverly. Don't tell me you haven't even checked on her. I turn my eyes away. Well, what does he expect? Am I meant to just shake her awake and ask, how are you feeling? Didn't even make sure she doesn't have a fever, Waverly? Oh right, not a bad idea, that. I will throw you out of here if you won't be responsible enough to take care of her. You make it sound so easy, we barely know one another. Then get to, and it will be easy. I kind of despise this guy for his over-positive attitude. Easier said than done means nothing to him. Are you going to leave, or do I have to shut this thing in your face? Io quickly shakes his head and holds up his hands. Whoa, girl, this face is priceless. Don't damage it. You say things like that, and I only want to do it more. He plays at flinching and backs away. I'm out. Just say hello to Bu for me. Tell her that I hope she feels better soon. Fine, girlie. He sucks his teeth and cuts his eyes at me, pouting afterwards. Later, Waverly. Later. As he walks off, I move to close the door. Before I'm able to, though, Ayu calls for me again. Are you going to use that hug you won? Of course not. Laughing, he turns down another hallway. I close the door and rest my back against it. Lastly, I sigh. I was right. I should at least check if she has a fever. Can't tell if she's in comfort or not, but she's very asleep, judging by the dark stain on her pillowcase. Alright, it would be embarrassing for her to wake up with me standing here, so I'll touch her forehead softly and quick. No fever, I think. Brush away some of her hair. She was sweating quite a bit, looks like, although now she's almost a little cold. Well, I had better wake her up now. I lightly poke her cheek, which garners no response. Ha! You'll make this hard for me, eh, you cute little thing? Fine. I slightly pinch her cheek, and when she doesn't budge, I start to tug. Once I do that, she twitches, and I understand it as a signal to retreat from her bedside. Moving swiftly, I return to my desk and pick up my book so I can pretend I was reading. I mean, I was reading around 20 minutes ago, but... she's gotten up. Well, what time's it? Well, look who's decided to wake up. Late. You've been sleeping since 10 last night. Whoa, I actually feel like I've been sleeping... Her sentence transforms into a mumbled mess and she begins to nod. Come on, Winter, you were doing so well. You still need to eat breakfast. Or, well, lunch at this point. My bad. Breakfast. She drops back down to her bed, and I can feel her gaze at my back. Sorry, I slept past it, didn't I? Oh man, don't apologize to me. I could have easily woken you up. Well, yeah, it's lunchtime now. Which is what I meant to say. Anyway, when do you want to go eat? Right now? I'll help. Oh, I'm honestly too bleh feeling to actually get up, let alone stand up or walk. Or eat. I see. How are you, Waverly? Fine. You? Bleh, Waverly. Please pay attention. Well, your mind seems alright. Oh, trust me, it's not. I feel so slow. But you practically quipped just now. Good stuff. Meh. I hear her turn over. Don't tell me you're just gonna go back to sleep. No. Then what are you doing getting comfy? Am I not allowed comfort in my own room? You're going to fall asleep. No, I won't. I understand, Waverly. I deal with this all the time. Getting tired, they want to stay awake, and yet they get more comfortable for some reason. I just don't get it, but whatever. That response was measured slower. I don't think you're telling the truth. I won't, Waverly. Ooh, maybe I should read you some lines out of this book. That'll keep your attention. Waverly, please. Don't. I turned to an old page. Ahem. Eleanor pressed her silver-tipped fingers against his skin and hissed a single question. Winter groans loudly and mumbles something I can't hear. Did you see Asta walking along the parapet, or didn't you? Martin's breath was still, and he turns his eyes from hers. Thoughts of his demon lover were still fresh in his mind. Asta's breath, Asta's taste, Asta's touch. Ah, her touch. Whether his heart had been courted or commanded, it matters not. He felt for Asta enough that he could never betray her. I hear Winter turn over again. Spare me! He's about to sleep with Eleanor, though. Despite all this crap about Asta, don't you want to know how that plays out? No! She coughs. No, please stop. Cockle, why are you reading that tripe? You read inward fantasy fiction, and you belittle my taste? I like reading inward fantasy because it's fun, so, These books are fun too, but fun because they're terrible. You see, Winter, I enjoy these works because I can appreciate their silliness. I don't think they're actually good. When you think they're awful and revel in that? Yep, authors from our world are all very good at what they do, naturally, so it's nice to read some trashy nonsense for a change. You're making fun of other worlds. Yeah, who cares? I don't know. That's right. I might be handling this with the sensitivity of a jackhammer. Not that, oh man, what am I supposed to say? Not that I mean to imply... Waverly, it's fine. I don't mean to sound like that bothers me. Sorry. Yeah. Winter? Winter Harrison's place? Oh, come on, you're kidding. There was more to this than I thought there was. So I guess this is a new episode, which we should have been figured out a long time ago. We'll pick this up in a bit. I rise from my seat. Coming. I walk over to the door, hoping that this will be over quickly so that I can return and clear the air. Opening it, I'm a bit taken back to find a teacher and my first mentor. Henry Penn and Walter L. Why are they together? Come to think of it, have they always worn clothes so alike? They're looking like perfect fashionable gentlemen. Are you quite all right, Waverly? Oh, yes. Hello, sirs. Can I help you? Waverly, how nice to see you again. I hope you've been well. I raised my shoulders a little, because I'm not sure how to answer. Oh, Walter, the student was your protege? Walter nods happily. Was her first, I believe, and I'm sure it was an honor. An honor? I covered my mouth, having spoken what I was thinking. I am really in a mess today. Haha, she kids. A regular miniature me. Whoa, I hope not. I see. How rude of me. My apologies, Mr. Sire. I did not greet you. He gives a halfway bow. Greetings. How are you today? Decent. I blink once and hurry out an honorific. Sir, that is good to hear. Can I help you? My roommate is sick, and I was taking care of her, so please cut me loose already. Oh, of course. Might you give Mistress Harrison this letter and tell her to expect a meeting with me sometime later? I take the envelope that he offers me, not bothering to look it over. Winter Harrison, eh? That poor girl witnessed the end of the world. End of a world. Correct. And what's worse, she witnessed Cyrus mediating. Walter. It sounds like he was 200% Cyrus yesterday. Out and out stupid. Walter smiles toothily and looks me in the eye, which is weird, but Walter behavior. It's hard not to laugh at his flippant, foolish actions. I only don't because, unlike him, I am solemn about these matters. But Cyrus, he has truly exceeded the limits of being an ass. He is, in fact, such a large ass, that he puts the Cinderlands to shame. And, what's this? Walter and Henry look to the right, my right, and I peek past the door for him to see what's drawn their attention. Speak of the devil, and he doth appear, Mr. Cyrus Addington. Walter speaks like he's presenting a circus act, complete with showy hand motions and everything. He's right, there's Cyrus looking a little paler than normal. Lieberens, I see that you're still attached to Penn's hip. That's a nice joke, Cyrus. You've always been good at jokes. Though I suppose that's no surprise, seeing as you're a pretty grand joke all your own. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see Walter sneering. I haven't had the opportunity to ask. Are you properly ashamed of yourself, or am I to take your overbearing silence recently to be your standard brooding and angst? I'm not here to mince words with you, Walter. Mr. Penn, are you finished here? If so, then I ask that you leave while I speak with my protege. Henry, who hadn't bothered to say anything between these two, speaks up. As a matter of fact, my business is done. I should let you know, though, Cyrus, that your protege is still infirm. He nods politely at me, indicating to Cyrus my presence. We were instead speaking to the young Mistress Eyre. She will do. In that case, Waverley, we will be departing now. Henry puts his hand on my shoulder and bends to whisper at my ear. You know where to find me if you need me, I hope. I understand if recent events have been difficult for you to comprehend. I nod, giving my shoulder a rub as he lets me go and stands up straight. All right, Walter, quit sticking your tongue out at him. You're being childish. Come now, we're leaving. Right. Goodbye, Waverley. Yes, goodbye, Waverley. Henry and Walter walk towards Cyrus, and while the elder mediator continues past him, the younger stops at Cyrus's side. I strain my ears to listen. I really am fucking disappointed in you. I don't know what you're thinking, but you need to take this job seriously. You asked to be a mentor. Now start acting like one. You're not working alone anymore. After this, Cyrus answers, but I can't hear what he says. Walter grabs him by the shoulder and snarls, whispering something else. Cyrus refuses to look at him, and Walter scoffs, shoving Cyrus out of the way and catching up with Henry, leaving Cyrus to just stand there with his head down. Man, they're so weird. Adults are so weird. After a few moments of nothing, he walks over to the door, his gaze still fixed on the ground. Hello, Waverley. Hey. You awkward, creepy bastard. I'm not... He finally looks me in the eyes. I'm not entirely sure what to say. You and me both. I just know that I haven't properly apologized. Not that this is properly apologizing, having student relay the message for me. It's immature, but I imagine I can't talk to Winter herself right now. I say nothing, because there's nothing polite to say. I want you to tell Winter that I'm sorry. I want you to tell her that absolutely nothing that happened was her fault. I suppose that's all I want to say that can pass through you. The blame is wholly mine, and I want her to know that she did nothing wrong. I can see that he wants to explain himself more, but it's hurting him to try. I had better speak up. Sir, I'll tell her. Can I ask you something, sir? I heard you killed a leader, and that something bad happened because of that. Wasn't that, a dumb idea? Did you think that wouldn't happen? Cyrus doesn't answer for long enough that I think he's not going to answer, but he speaks before I could say, never mind. Listen, this is something difficult for students such as yourself to understand, but I knew full well it would happen. What? Listen. Why on earth should I? It's something that you eventually must understand. The situation was a quagmire. Many of the options available to us could have very likely made things turn out worse rather than better. You'll have to believe me that, in this case, the best course of action to promote order was to allow that something bad to happen. I'll have to hear what Winter says, because that sounds like nonsense. The larger issue was that I underestimated the consequences. To put it bluntly, I did not properly research. I was overconfident. Sewell, that is, the system we had visited was a very chaotic world, although inconsistently. Scientific discovery happened both quickly and suddenly there. Large leaps in technological prowess were spurred by random discovery. It was a very unusual system, and I knew that, but I didn't give it proper consideration. I had expected some losses from my actions, but certainly not the loss of the entire world. In short, I misjudged and rushed things. You know how I rush things. Don't smile at me, you fiend. You can't just tell me you allowed a world to die and expect me to smile back. Yeah, I know you're calling on those rumors about yourself being a grimly logical, murder-happy bastard, but it's not really funny knowing that's true and what it entails. Well, unless you have any more questions. What did Walter mean when he said you asked to be a mentor? What am I doing? Waverly, where do you get off talking like a pal with a superior and asking such personal questions? You weren't even supposed to hear that. Heavens, are ye a buffoon? Far more than he knew when he said it. However, I don't think that's a matter to discuss with you kids. Sorry. No, it's fine. It's fine. Is that all? Yeah. Then thank you for listening to me, Waverly. Again, I'm sorry to put this responsibility onto you, but I would really appreciate if you could do this for me. I will. Don't worry. He chuckles. You've certainly opened up a lot more, Waverly. This making it seem like I made a fine decision to become a mentor. I get to watch you guys grow up. I may have forgotten what it means to grow up. By the way, you shouldn't eavesdrop. Considering it, I decided to smile. Don't talk about private matters in public, then, sir. Ha, I'll try not to. Then I'll be leaving, Waverly. Peace to you. Aye, and to you. He nods to me and walks away. I shut the door. I'm not sure what my opinion of Cyrus is now. Maybe it's worse. I sure to think it's any better, but, well, I guess he... this isn't something I can work out right now. Yo, Winter. What? You're very popular today. We've had a total of 3 visitors come for you. Or was it technically 4? Whatever. What can I say? I'm very charming. Well, Mrs. Charming, I have a letter for you. I'll walk over to her bedside and hand over the thing. Before I do, though, I decide I should have a look at what the envelope says. For whenever it's too much to bear, read this. Henry Penn. Huh. Well, here you are. I toss it down next to her pillow where she reads it sideways. From Mr. Penn. Yep, and I'm sorry about kind of talking dismissively about worlds. I told you that I didn't really mind. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have been talking that way anyway. You really don't need to apologize, Waverly. Cyrus is also sorry. Winter falls silent. Hey, come on, just listen to what he had to say. I'm listening. He's sorry, and he wants you to know that's not your fault. It's his. He doesn't want you to blame yourself. He knows he fucked up, Winter. Even if he's a jerk, you should forgive him. For yourself. It's not that simple, Waverly. You didn't hear him yesterday. He most certainly does not feel bad about what he did. He just may feel bad about letting me see it. I mean, even if I wasn't concerned with his motivations, he still treated me awfully and made me watch him kill a person. Furthermore, even if he had succeeded, millions still would have died. Pardon my language, but screw Cyrus Addington. A dark feeling grows in my belly. I push it down. Nothing good comes from harboring bad will. I can't pretend I know what that's like, Winter, but I know that just feeling shit about things isn't going to help you. I swallow. And I hate to say it, but you're probably going to see a lot more of people killing people in this line of work. We also both know that we may end up killing a few or several ourselves, but nobody wants to acknowledge that. I let out a sigh. This is depressing talk. It's best if we move on. Well, whatever, then. Whatever. I think we've delayed you eating for long enough. any longer and you could end up missing your debriefing. Ah, shoot, you're right. That's today. I completely forgot about it. Yeah, so come on. I reach down, and she lifts herself up to receive me. She holds on to my arms with a trembling lack of strength. All right, that's it. I ease her out of bed as carefully as I can, and she's soon on her feet. Able to stand all right? Able to stand. Not quite all right. Well, that's clear from how she's swaying a little. Don't try to do this on your own then, Winter. You've got my shoulder right here. Yes, thank you. She presses all of her negligible weight onto me, and I stand firm. We walk to the door, prepared to leave. Prepared to go on, I should think. Black. Congratulations on completing the game. You may now save your profile. Saving profiles allows for future episodes of Dysfunctional Systems to remember your choices. Be sure to give your profile description names so you can recognize them later. Multiple profiles may share the same name. Sure, Winter. Save. Well, that was Dysfunctional Systems. And if this kind of game that builds off your actions, I guess I'll still see what the other choices do, but that's my profile for the next game. Come out quick. I like this game. Yeah, well, there aren't many choices. Yeah, not really choices, but the one choice they did give you, or one choice, seemed like a pretty big choice. Maybe it has no effect in the end, but it seemed like a big one, and the story and characters were interesting enough that they were able to carry my interest through, even though there were no choices. Compare that to like Cafe Zero, which I understand wasn't supposed to be some big budget or big crazy awesome game, but that one where the characters weren't as interesting, they weren't able to carry the story as well. The choices were kind of small, but this one, as long as the story is interesting, typically I can get through stuff like this. And I think I'm gonna enjoy this, as long as the games don't take too long to come out. I can't wait that long. Anyway, I hope you had fun, just as much as I did. I'm WaitWhat, and this was Dysfunctional Systems, Episode 1. Something chaos and dealing with chaos and yeah, whatever. Goodbye.